It's a CD update. Ahoy hoy everybody, and welcome to this video. This is a little general update of CDs that I would have shown as part of the collections I've already shown, but at the time I hadn't listened to them or hadn't bought them. So these are some signed CDs, some Prince related CDs, a couple of box sets, and some compilation and soundtrack CDs, which are all the categories of my CD collection I've already shown. Some of these you will have seen on the haul videos from when I bought them. The signed ones you would have seen if you watch my autograph updates. Then there's a couple that I found filed in my normal CDs that should really be elsewhere, and a couple of new purchases. Apologies for the bags, it's 7 o'clock, 20 past 7 in the morning. I've just got up and showered. Yes, so without any further ado, so a couple of box sets. They're not really box sets, but that's where they're going to be filed. These are the deluxe editions of these CDs. So this is Emma Bunton's new album, My Happy Place, which is okay as an album, but it's a bit schmaltzy at times. They've got, you know, her kids sing on it with a couple of points. But I do like Emma's solo stuff. It's got a nice 60s feel to it. And there's a couple of nice duets with people I like on here, like Will Young and Robbie Williams. The book itself is just got a load of photos of her. There's nothing special, if you like. And similarly, this is Kylie's new greatest hits, Step Back in Time. I showed the vinyl version on my last vinyl update. This is the 2 CD deluxe edition, I think they call it, the definitive collection. So it's got 41 tracks technically, but it's actually got 42 because the last track on CD 2, which isn't listed, is a new track called New York. Again, this has just sort of got more pictures in it. What it's got, which is nice, being a greatest hits, is that it's got all different versions of each single. So it's got, you know, picture disc or CD cover or 7-inch cover, promo cover, one for each track in order, which is nice. And then just the credits at the back. But yeah, so that's the new box sets. Signed stuff, I won't go into too much detail because as I say, I have shown these on my autograph collection. This is Reckless and Me by Kiefer Sutherland. This was an Amazon purchase for about a tenner. I bought it for the autograph, not the music. The music is okay, it's country rock, which isn't really my thing, but it's listenable. This is a new album by Will Young, Lexicon. Signed, lots of love, Will. Also had this on album, which I've shown again in my vinyl collection, which came with a signed print, and showed that in my autograph collection. Good album. This is Mark Ronson's Late Night Feelings, his new album. Again, signed nicely, a heart there, Mark Ronson. Also had this on vinyl, which I showed in my vinyl and my autograph updates. Enjoyed this. The singles so far stood out, but that might be just because I'm familiar with them. Also the track Truth, which has got Alicia Keys on it, and I'm a big fan of Alicia, so liked that. But yeah, enjoyable album. This is the 3rd volume of Robbie Williams' Under the Radar. These are self-released albums that contain tracks that didn't make it onto other albums, normally just because they didn't really fit in with the theme, or there was other similar sounding songs on the album, not that they were bad songs. Again, it's an enjoyable album. The only thing that put me off a bit is that it's got 2 versions of the same song directly after each other, which, if they're going to do that, they could have put one, you know, they could have split them. But otherwise, very good. Yeah, a bit like Pulp's Different Class when that first came out. It's got multiple album covers you can slip in, but that's sort of a generally accepted cover, signed by Robbie. It's got various other bits and bobs in there, but I showed that in my autograph update. This is Bryan Adams' latest album, Shine a Light. This was an Amazon purchase, numbered number 11 of 2,200, which is a strange amount. Yeah, it's okay. It's not a great album, but it's enjoyable. Oh, you can tell it's early, I'm getting all nasal. This is Sam Brown's 43 Minutes, which was an album from 1992 that was reissued last year. Bought this signed version through superdeluxeedition.com. Really enjoyed the album. What I presume was the first side on the album. It's just, sort of just one continuous track, which works really well. You know, it's multiple songs, but they all blend into each other. I just wish they'd kept that up for the second side as well. It's on CD, it's sort of jarring where all of a sudden that stops and it just goes into individual songs. But I did enjoy the album. And then this is a box set. This is Dana Gillespie, who worked with and dated David Bowie for a while, and is an actress as well as a singer. Didn't really know what to expect from this. I hadn't heard her music before. Oh, excuse me. But really enjoyed it. She's got a great bluesy voice, and most of the tracks are blues. But it has got a few versions of her version of Bowie's Andy Warhol on here as well. And this was signed, and that was through Cherry Red Records, who released it. That's the signed bits. Compilations, I did show all these on the Hall, charity shop Hall where I bought them. These are all in the same charity shop in Fareham. Can't remember which one. The ones that still got stickers on here, I couldn't get the stickers off, they're stuck on too well. But these are 3 volumes of Radio 1's Live Lounge CDs, 1, 3 and 5. So these are recordings from Radio 1's Live Lounge. It's either artists doing their own songs, usually in a different version, either acoustic or just, you know, slightly different from a recorded version, or they're covering other people's songs. And what happens quite a lot on here is that you get somebody covering a song, and then the artist whose song it is also doing it on here, so you can compare and contrast the 2 different versions. Really enjoyed these. They've all got some good stuff on them. I will be keeping my eye out for 2 and 4. Not sure if there was a 6 or any more after that, but yeah, I'll certainly be on the lookout for the rest of them. You may recall when I bought these, I wasn't sure if I already had 1 or 2, but I was getting compared with the similar Dermot O'Leary CD that I do have. These 2 were sort of... No, that's not. One of these was misfiled. This is Larry Graham and Graham Central Station's Raise Up, which should have been in my Prince collection because he features on a couple of tracks. Larry Graham was his best friend for a long while. Good album. As with most of Larry's later albums, it does have a couple of re-recordings of his earlier songs, so it's got a new master of It's Alright on here, and It Ain't No Fun to Me, and Now Do You Wanna Dance. And then it's got some good covers on here, Shoulda Woulda Coulda and Higher Ground, and some other really good bits on it. Yeah, good album. As I say, that's going into my Prince collection. And this was a charity shop purchase, which is also going into my Prince collection. Is Paula Abdul's Spellbound, which has got the track U on it, written by Prince. That's the letter U. It's okay. It's an album. It didn't wow me, but it was, you know, a perfectly pleasant listen. And then finally we have some soundtracks stroke theatre cast recordings. One of these was misfiled. I should have shown this when I was doing my soundtracks. That's Casino Royale. This is the 1967 Bond film, the spoof, if you like, people tend to call it. Not sure it's entirely the correct word, but I like the film for the fact that it's such a mess, if you like. But there's some really good bits in it, and all the girls in it are just gorgeous. But it is, with On Her Majesty's Secret Service, it is my favourite Bond soundtrack. Just excellent. I paid quite a lot for this CD. I think it was £20, might even have been a little bit more. It's 2 CDs, but even still. From one of the stalls at London Comic Con. I'd sort of bypassed it the previous year. I can't really justify that amount of money, but I wanted it so much that I just got it, and I haven't regretted it. CD1 is all the music from the soundtrack in order. CD2 is the original soundtrack album, which the order's slightly messed up, and it's nowhere near all the tracks. What is it? 13 tracks as opposed to 33 on the first CD. But yeah, I'd say one of my favourite soundtracks. Not just Bond soundtracks, in fact, one of my favourite soundtracks, full stop. And then these are two musicals that I've recently picked up. First, I picked up a CD of Heather's musical. This is the cast recording of the London cast who performed it in London, funnily enough, earlier this year, headed by Carrie Hope Fletcher, who played Veronica. I hadn't seen the musical, loved the film. The bits of music I'd heard, because I follow Carrie on YouTube, so I'd heard lots of bits of this, and enjoyed. I love the song 17, and so they've initially released this as digital only, but when they announced it was coming out on CD, that was a day one pre-order for me. And it is a really good cast recording, and there's some really good stuff on there. And then we went to see Matilda, the musical based on Roald Dahl's children's book, at our local theatre in Mayflower in Southampton a couple of weeks ago. Really loved it. Wanted to see it ever since it came out, because I'm a big fan of Tim Minchin, who did the music and wrote the songs, and didn't disappoint. And as I went in, even before I'd seen it, I picked up a CD for that. So this is the original London cast recording of Matilda. What was nice with this is that on stage, particularly with some of the children's voices, tended to get a bit lost, so couldn't quite pick up all the lyrics, but this is clear as a bell. You can hear every word, and some of the songs are really funny, and they're all really catchy songs as well. Yep, so that is a little catch up. We will shortly, and in Martin world, by shortly I mean as soon as I take them off the shelf. In your world it'll probably be another week. Be moving on to general CDs. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks. Bye.